Hello wrestling fans, referee Ron Mills here. It's been quite a while since I've done a YouTube video or shared anything about the business in terms of video on Facebook or YouTube. So it's early January 2017, and I would just want to first say I hope everyone's had a happy new year, and of course wish everyone the very best, most prosperous year that's ahead. So I wanted to do something a little different for this video that I haven't done in the past. I've received some feedback from a lot of people and some messages indicating that this idea I have of doing a referee coaching video might be a good idea. So I was just hoping to share some of my experiences with you in what is the pilot of this series, so to speak, of referee coaching videos, just different moments and suggestions that I've had along my way in the 17 years in the business that I might could share with you if you're a young up-and-coming referee. I often find myself at shows being approached by younger referees asking for advice and mentoring, so I'm certainly happy to give that information. Just thought I'd share a few things today about being a referee in the business of professional wrestling. As I said, I've been doing this about 16 years now, so I just want to preface this with saying this isn't the infallible way to referee. There is no such thing. So my advice is not the black and white. It's not the period at the end of the sentence suggestion, so to speak. It's just something that may help you along the way that I've picked up from other referees and used in my own repertoire inside the ring. So the first topic of discussion today for me, I just want to talk about styles and refereeing. Just as the wrestlers have their own characters and their own personas out there in the ring, referees to a degree have the same kind of personality, the same kind of style, and we all want to be different. Now, that's not to say that we can't glean things from other referees that came before us, but we don't want to be an exact duplicate, excuse me, either. We want to develop and define our own personality using the different items and the different skill sets of other referees that we like and admire. Of course, the one pro wrestling referee everybody loves is Tommy Young. I think Tommy, of course, is a legend. He set the standard for style in terms of refereeing. He made it cool to be a referee. First one to do that. So certainly he has an influence, but we don't want to be a duplicate of Tommy Young, just as we don't want to be a duplicate of an Earl Hebner or Dave Hebner or Tim White. We want to be able to take these different things that each referee has and mold it into our own. I really liked Tommy Young, of course, growing up, and when I first started in the business, a lot of people said, "Hey, your style is like Tommy Young," and I take that as a tremendous compliment. But looking back on my young years in the business, I did try to be a duplicate of Tommy Young, and that's not necessarily the best thing to do. Instead of being a duplicate of someone else, try to develop your own style and your own personality. So I took a little bit of styles from Tommy Young, no doubt. I took a little bit from conversation and viewing Earl Hebner. Charles Robinson, of course, has bridged the gap between that Tommy Young era and the modern style, and he's been able to transition it so well and give you a blend of both. It's really amazing what he does. He's a great referee, of course, so I've taken a little bit from him. I used to love WWE referee Jack Doan. Jack Doan had a great style that I liked, so I took a lot from him. And Chad Patton, who still works with, of course, WWE now, had a great, still has a great consistent count, the most consistent count in the business, I think. And a very dependable referee, always knows where he's at in the ring, so I took a lot from him. Even my wife has mentioned that at times I have mannerisms that resemble Chad Patton. So a little bit from Jack Doan, a little bit from Chad Patton, Nick Patrick, all these great referees, and I've kind of blended it into my own style to become my own type of referee. So that's my suggestion to you today here in this first referee coaching video, is to develop your own style. Take a little bit off the buffet, so to speak, from all these other guys that we like and mold it into your own. Take what you can keep, use what you can keep, and discard the rest. So developing your own style, and don't let other people necessarily influence your style, because what works for them may work for them, but it doesn't work for you. Same thing with the guys, you know, when when Ric Flair would work the Carolina territory, I'm sure he had a different style than when he would work Brody in St. Louis. So you have to tailor your style to the type of match you're working and you know, who you're working with and the territory you're in and what the fans are responding to, of course. But overall, developing your own. But don't let other people influence your style. Here recently, within the last probably 12 months, I had a wrestler who was a well-known wrestler, a talent, approach me and tell me that I needed to change my style of counting. I needed to do things differently. And I am always open to feedback and suggestions, but what he was suggesting was more of a hardcore style, something that worked maybe in a early 90s or mid-90s ECW style for those referees and that product that they were selling, and that worked for them, but that's not how I work. I'm not going to... my style is I get flat on the mat. I don't get on all fours. I don't really make demonstrative moves with my hand. I make it visually appealing and loud and authoritative, but I don't do that ECW style, so to speak. So that kind of information just didn't work for me. That was a style and a product for those guys for that time. So I just kind of discarded that information. You just have to make that decision sparingly. I mean, what you can use and what you can keep. So just develop your own style. And I thank you for watching this video. If it was helpful, leave some comments, let me know. If it wasn't helpful, let me know your comments on that as well. I just appreciate you taking the time to watch it. If you have any further questions, or if you like the video, I may continue on with the series with some other suggestions for up-and-coming referees going forward. So always, you can check me out on Facebook at refereeronmills.com through the Facebook channel. And also, of course, here on YouTube as well. Today, we're about a week out from January 14th. I'll be in Lasker, North Carolina for Rage Pro Wrestling. They present a great faith-based product. I always look forward to working with those guys. So if you're in the North Carolina area, for Lasker, North Carolina, January 14th, Rage Pro Wrestling, I believe it's at the Academy there in Lasker. You'll be able to check us out. Once again, Referee Ron Mills on Facebook. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you at ringside.